Mr. Eggplant presents.
Hey guys, Tyler here, and thank you for checking out this video. And I'm back here on the War Within Beta, and we are once again talking about all things AoE, and I have a new Mythic Plus build for you guys to try out. Call it version 2.0, if you will, because version 1.0 is no longer a thing. I posted the video about 3 weeks ago, and it got some really great views, and it got even better feedback, so I really appreciate it when you guys leave feedback on my videos, but it's not really applicable now because it had Death Chakram in it, and Death Chakram and Steel Trap were both removed about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago. I forget which build week it was. In its place, we have some new abilities, which we'll talk about here in a second, but it does require me to have a different build. So in this build, the main difference is going to be running with Kill Zone and then not running with Barrage and Rapid Fire Barrage. So I will have timestamps to everything down in the description if you guys would like to check that out, as well as the string to this build down in the description too. It should be near the top of the description box. And then finally, I guess I should just say it here. So this is actually the second time I've uploaded this video. The first time was 2 days ago, so if you have notifications turned on, you might have seen that video. But I posted it, and we were having some really bad connectivity issues. We were lagging really bad, kept DCing. I couldn't even be on here for like 4 or 5 minutes at a time. So I pieced together the video, got my thoughts out, and then uploaded it. And in the middle of the upload, I thought it would be funny to put an 8-second video of Ron Swanson throwing his computer away in a dumpster. I had used the clip before, but unfortunately YouTube did not like it this time. So they decided to either hit me with a copyright strike or take the video down, and they didn't give me the choice. They just took it down. So literally with 22 minutes after I uploaded the video, they had already taken it down. So I do apologize for that, but now I am recording it the second time. All right. I thought you guys would find that funny. All I figured out is that I shouldn't have fun and post random clips on my videos for YouTube. Anyway. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the talents, and I will be running a Sentinel Marksman Hunter in this video. It's all passive damage, does a lot of damage and compared to your Dark Ranger, but I will have Dark Ranger content out later this week. I'll have some builds. We'll see what kind of damage that Wailing Arrow can do in AoE, particularly with Dark Ranger, and then I'll just have some other builds for you guys to try out, because I probably only have 3 or 4 more videos at most for the beta. So on the left side of the tree, the main changes were the additions of Blackrock Munitions and Implosive Trap. This is where High Explosive Trap was, and this is where Death Chakram was. So I'll pick Implosive Trap, which is a knock up. So, and it's also a 1 minute cooldown. It used to be a 1.5 minute cooldown, so they've already helped us out there a little bit. But we have a knock up, a knock back, a stun, a root, a snare, slows. We have all sorts of utility over here on this left side. So all 3 specs of Hunters rejoice, at least for our additional utility. I just wish that one of these abilities would be a lust that I didn't require a pet to summon a pet to have out, or regardless of what pet family you have, you'll be able to lust. I know that that would cover our bases for all 3 forms of Hunter. But the main change, like I alluded to earlier, was the removal of Barrage and Rapid Fire Barrage from my build. It's just a lot of points that you have to spend to get it to do, you know, anything. Kind of the same way that True Shot does. You have to spend 4 points to make it its true form, but it does have the addition of Kill Zone, and then also Night Hunter. I'll talk about it later on, but you have to pick Night Hunter if you want to pick in the rhythm, because otherwise it's locked behind Barrage, so that feels kind of bad, and I hope they'll change some of these connectors just a little bit, or maybe move some of these abilities around the tree. That could go a long way to helping us out. Heck, even combining some, you know, right here, might be a little bit more advantageous to get more people on our spec. But the main thing is going to be Kill Zone here. So Kill Zone is going to work very similar to the way Death Chakram did. So when you got hit by Death Chakram, you took 10% extra damage from your Hunter. Well, now, so now your spells and attacks deal 8% increased damage and ignore line of sight if they're in the volley. So they do have to be in volley, so do keep that in mind. It's not just if volley is up. So it's a little bit less than the 10 to the 8, but if you time this right, you can have volley up, and then you can go, particularly if you have True Shot, which you do want to play around volley at this point. So you'll want to have abilities to follow up when you do use your volley. That way you can go, volley, then use your true shot, then go rapid fire, aim shot, and you can get all that damage out while being able to cleave and get all the bonus effects and bonus damage from kill zone. And also small game hunter, like I said earlier, was nerfed. Just the multi-shot damage, not the explosive shot damage. So now let's go ahead and take a look at what this talent build will look like on the dummies, and then we'll see what an opener and rotation will look like. So now that we've seen the talent build, let's go ahead and see what the opener and rotation would look like. So you're going to use your hunter's mark before the pull, and then you're going to use explosive shot and then volley, and volley will be macroed with salvo, and then you'll go true shot, rapid fire, aim shot, and even with low haste, I have 8% right now here on the beta, you can still get all three of those out before your volley is done. And then you're going to go multi-shot, rapid fire, multi-shot, aim shot, multi-shot, aim shot, multi-shot, rapid fire, so on and so forth. Basically, during that true shot window, you want to do multi-shot and then either aim shot or rapid fire, whichever one is off cooldown. And then after that, it's going to be the pretty much standard rotation we've used for quite some time. So use all of your precise shot procs, make sure you have trick shots up before casting aim shot or rapid fire, and don't let aim shot or rapid fire set off cooldown. Same thing goes for explosive shot. The one thing I will say is that if your volley is almost off cooldown and your true shot is up, maybe you wait just a few seconds to have those line up a little bit better. That way you can go rapid fire, aim shot again and get a ton of damage, since volley is increasing all of the damage done by 8% while it's up. So let's go ahead and see what this is going to look like. It's going to go about 2.5 minutes basically until I can get through 2 full true shots. Alright, so I'm looking right now and I'm seeing volley and true shot are very close. So I do want to make sure and have my true shot delayed just a little bit so I can take advantage of volley's bonus damage. Alrighty, so we ended up about 1.5 million DPS. It's going to go down here just a little bit since my dots are still ticking. But let's go ahead and take a look at our damage profile here. Alright, so let's see here what the damage is like. So this was at 2 minutes and 8 seconds to get through the entire 2 true shots. So that's pretty standard. As you can see, I've been trying it a couple of times. It's between 2 minutes and 2:10, basically, that you can get 2 full true shots out. So let's go ahead and look at our damage. And keep in mind, like I said, it did go down just a little bit because of our dots as we were running away from the dummy. So it looks pretty standard, where you're going to have aim shot and rapid fire doing the majority of your damage, like it should be. Particularly since we're spending a bunch of points to up the damage of rapid fire and even give it more shots. So multi-shot was our #1 ability by quite a bit the last time I posted this video. So we do see it's kind of back where it should be. That was because of that the small game hunter nerf, and then just the multi-shot being tuned too highly for whatever reason for marksman hunter. And then we have Sentinel and Lunar Storm was kind of throttled, reeled back in, if you will, because it was doing too much damage as well. And then explosive shot is there in the middle. Explosive shot's usually doing between 8 and 10% of my total damage. Something to note is the Serpent Sting here. Honestly, in like the last expansion or two for that matter, Serpent Stalker's Trickery, which is here on your tree, is like a go-to. But if it's only going to be doing, about 1% of your total damage, maybe that's a point that we have to move. The problem is, though, is that to pick up Volley in this current iteration, you basically have to pick up Serpent Stalkers or you have to pick up Chimera Shot, which Chimera Shot does feel kind of weird if you're going to, because, if you're in AoE, you're going to use multi-shot, and the only time Chimera Shot would be used was be in place of the ability it replaces, which is Arcane Shot. So we are kind of married to Serpent Stalker's Trickery right now, so I would like to see maybe moving a point over here to Hydra's Bite. It'll increase your damage probably about 2% or so if I had to guess. Even on single target, you'll see some bonus value because it does increase the Serpent Sting's damage over time by 20%. The problem is I don't really know what point you would move there because you're the way this is built, you're kind of locked into lock and load, and you're kind of locked into Serpent Stalker's Trickery as well. Lock and load would be something I would potentially move down there since it's guaranteed damage versus feast or famine with lock and load. But we can't because you're not going to run steady focus. Other options would be to maybe move Fan the Hammer, but we're still getting good value from that. Another ability I would move over would be Night Hunter, which would be there. The problem is we are now not connected. So I guess you can move Lone Wolf if you absolutely wanted to. But the way that the trees are set up right now, we have a lot of AoE over here and then like single target AoE hybrid over here, but we also have some single target abilities and like 2 target cleave abilities still over here. So maybe those get moved around and make it a little bit easier, or heck, even just add more connectors. I think that would work just fine as well. Like if we were to move just a few connectors around, even just add one here, then that would allow you to not run with lock and load if you wanted to, but I also kind of see why they don't connect those. Either way, I'd still like to see some of these abilities moved around in the tree just a little bit if they're going to keep all of them the way they are. But overall, this was a pretty streamlined build. No barrage to kind of gunk up your rotation, and there's just less buttons to hit, so those buttons that you are hitting need to be priority, and they need to be doing a lot of your damage. So kind of building around Volley is how this build would work, because that's increasing your overall damage by 8%, which will be supercharged when you're in the last 20% of a boss's health, when you have all the dots cleaving, bonus chance to crit thanks to Bullseye, and so much more. But leave me your feedback down below. I always appreciate it when you guys check out my videos, and consider subscribing and follow me over at Twitch. I've got more videos planned, including some Dark Ranger videos. Even though it may not be the best build right now, I'll still make sure and have some Dark Ranger love here on my channel, and maybe a couple other builds before we actually hit the pre-patch, which will probably be here in about 2.5 weeks. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.